Amber, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, no problem. Good afternoon, JP.
First of all, Amber, I gotta go back to your childhood. How did writing make its way into your life?
It was pretty early on when I found my love of horses, and I thank my parents who took me to a fair, and there was one of those little merry-go-rounds with horses on them, and I wouldn't get off, and they had to keep paying more and more and more so I could stay on another go, another go. And finally, before we left, they contacted those people who owned the ponies and said, do you think we could come out and take some lessons or maybe lease a horse? And so I ended up leasing Tony the pony when I was about 4 years old. And that kind of became just part of me. It was when I really found my love for horses, and my parents were really supportive of that. My mom rode when she was younger, so she really enjoyed seeing me have that same passion as well.
Now, Heartland has done a great job showcasing Western culture. Obviously, your character, Amy, is a huge part of that. What's the journey been like over this many years doing the same show, and how are you able to still keep it fresh?
You know, that's a great question, and it's an incredible experience as an actor to be able to be a part of a show that's gone this long. I mean, there's not very many actors, especially in Canada, but worldwide, that can say they've been a part of the same project for a decade. And that's something all in itself. And you're right on keeping it fresh, keeping it new. And I think the writers have done such a great job at keeping the stories fresh, which really makes my job a whole lot easier. Because as long as there's new and exciting material, then I can always be reinventing my character. It's when you get stuck in that slump of the same stories and sort of the same point in a character's life that it's hard to make it fresh and to reinvent your character. But it's been so incredible to be able to watch Amy grow throughout these 10 years. And she's gone from being a teenager to having her first real love, to being engaged, to being married, to being pregnant. Like there's a really nice sort of transition throughout her life that parallels a lot of events that have happened in my life too. So I can relate, and I can bring different stories to the writers and say, hey, what do you think about this? You know, my husband and I were out doing this, and we thought this was kind of fun and might be exciting to put into the show, and just different things that just help me keep that character alive and as a real person too. That's the biggest thing, that when you have a character on TV that so many people can relate to, you want it to be real, and you want those stories to come from a genuine place.
You're speaking about parallels. Of course, you don't just play a rancher on TV. Tell us about your ranch down south.
It's just as crazy as the Heartland Ranch, maybe even more so. I've got everything running around here. There's cows and horses and dogs and cats and chickens and turkeys and rabbits and alpacas and all kinds of stuff. So there's definitely never a dull moment on my ranch, which, again, gives me so many great stories that I can take to the writers and say, you're never going to guess what happened last night. And they'll say, that is great. We're going to put that in. So it really makes my job easier playing Amy Fleming when I can come home and experience so many of those same things at home.
You're coming up for this year's Grand Prairie Stampede, and we're very excited to have you. Folks are going to be able to have different opportunities to meet you and ask questions. What was the thought process behind getting out in public and getting hands-on?
Well, you know, it's been so many years of me doing different appearances in areas around Canada that I haven't even got really north of Edmonton.
Right.
And I thought, there's so many diehard fans that are in the province of Alberta, and sometimes they can't make the trip to Calgary, to Edmonton, to BC, some of the different places that we've gone. So when I was approached by the Grand Prairie Stampede, I thought, this is a great opportunity for me to be able to see some of these folks that love the show and have spent 10 years wanting to come to an appearance that may be southern to them, but they just couldn't get there. So I thought this is a great opportunity for them, as well as for me, because I've never been to Grand Prairie myself.
Looking forward to having you. It's going to be a great time as long as the snow stops, because it's snowing right now. I don't know if it is.
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
Yeah. So we're going to get that all cleared out, and you'll be enjoying it next weekend.
Oh, good.
Now, Heartland is Canada's longest-running one-hour family drama, and the good news is it's coming back for Season 10.
Yes, we just started filming 2 weeks ago for Season 10, and I can tell all you fans who are excited about the new stories, there's some great drama coming up this year. And it's been really fun to get back into the groove, because we film every year from May until December, and then we get some of the winter months off. And I usually travel around, do some appearances, and just kind of enjoy my farm and my animals and my husband and family and that kind of thing. But it was so nice to be able to get back into the groove. and say, okay, here we are, another year, another great bunch of stories and characters and animals. And we start off the year with something pretty fun that I think the fans are going to really enjoy. And I don't think I can give away any big spoilers, but I know that they're going to be excited. Let's just say I know everyone loves baby animals, and so we're starting off with baby animals, and that always seems to be a big hit.
Oh, I think that's going to go over just fine. Everybody likes their baby animals. Now, for those who haven't already, how can they follow you and keep up with what's going on in your world and find you online?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is my Instagram page, Amber_Marshall_farm, and I post pictures of all my animals and all the farm happenings. I try to post at least a picture a day, and so you can see all my critters that I have at home. And then Heartland has some really great sites as well. And if you go to my Facebook page or my website, I also have information on just little bios on my animals and appearances and where I'm going to be and when and kind of upcoming things like that. So for those of you who are interested in seeing a little bit of my life beyond Heartland, then that's probably a really good place to go, is to check out my website, which is just ambermarshall.ca or .com.
Well, Amber's going to be coming to visit us next weekend at the Grand Prairie Stampede. If you want to find out more information, you can find links on our website at bigcountryxx.com. Amber, thanks so much for taking the time, and we will see you next weekend.
Perfect. I can't wait. Thanks, JP.
We all know that the